it at this point. You know, even something as simplistic as I know that most of the textbooks and stuff that they're having at this point with the Common Cores, even how we scaffold learning for respective grades and what we're going to be expecting kids to be able to be tested on is drastically shifting. So what we're looking at in regards to maybe a second grade requirement in these tests will be moved to a first grade requirement with these Common Cores, and we're going to find that by the time the kids get to fourth grade, they'll be tested on something that is such a gap that they won't even be able to make the benchmarks. And so, you know, we definitely need to analyze the data, but I would suggest that we also couple that with looking at some textbook selections, curriculum selections, how we really and truly are going to handle this, how we're talking about testing, how we can use them even further than the Scantron, than individual education plans for our students, and also the way in which we formulated a K through 12 continuum curriculum, because that's going to be key. I think we understand across the state that we have not made a good shift, even at DOE, with the K-12 continuum, and with this Common Core, it's going to be very drastic. I was in a meeting today and we were talking about unwrapping content, and what we're going to be asking kids to know, we're very much understanding that there's a whole lot of baseline skills that were not handled where we are right now, but we're going to assume that kids are able to jump to. And those leaps are going to be big.
So if I may, thank you, and I welcome, certainly welcome your expertise and your remarks. The sense of urgency for us as the instructional leaders of this district is, one, setting a high expectation, beginning with me as superintendent, followed up with the administrative staff and principals who are instructional leaders of the building, and collaborate with the teaching staff and supportive staff, i.e. supervisors, to really focus on the needs of individual students. That being said, we do need to begin to use instructional strategies like higher order thinking skills, HOTS, being able to ask questions that are really challenging for students, and begin to use research best practices like those that Bill Daggett describes that include rigor, relevance, and relationships that really focus and tie right into what you're talking about in improving at a high frequency student achievement. I will say that we've begun the conversation already at the high school level. Teachers are collaborating and talking about the rigor of instruction. What does that look like? So that when we take the AP exam, that the number of students that take that exam are well prepared and that they are passing those exams. That's our expectation. We really are looking at the assessment of our programs and aligning. We need to do a better job at aligning them beginning from the elementary, middle, and high school. Principals and supervisors are engaging in that collaborative conversation. How do we improve our instructional program? What we are also looking at the moment is what are the instructional strategies that are differentiating the need for students and being able to assess, do we have the instructional programs to meet their needs, and what can we do right now to accelerate learning? We want to go beyond remediation. We want to accelerate their learning. But with high expectations, believing that they can learn and that they can learn quickly. And so that begins with us. And it also includes providing professional development to teachers that's meaningful, that they can apply in their classrooms, and that they're able to really understand the application of teaching and learning that result in improving student outcomes. We want the learning to be for real life applications. We want the learning to be resulting in high performance, not just on the New Jersey AST, but the SAT. We need the SATs, the ACT to enter college. And so whether or not they decide in their freshman year whether they're going, or at the last moment after playing their football game, we expect our students to be prepared. So yes, there's the challenge of the alignment of the instructional program to the content standards, but I believe that this instructional team is poised, ready, and willing, and is already doing the work to make the changes necessary to make this district a high-performing district.
That's good to hear, because that's a major concern. I mean, the shift for those student learning objectives and what that means in regards to the pragmatic, what that means in the classroom. And I think the alignment to our assessments, I think we definitely need to look at that. I think we've operated too much in a vacuum where we've sort of picked curriculum and looked at student learning objectives without sort of looking at the assessment, or maybe looking at New Jersey Act specifically. And this Common Core makes New Jersey Act look like a peanut. That's just the reality of where we're moving. So if we're having issues with that, then we're looking at something that I'm glad that we're going to handle. And as I said before, whatever assistance I'm willing, whatever assistance you need, handle it.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. I do not want to repeat, what Mr. Wilson concern also the superintendent really share with us, where we go from here. So basically, last year and this year, we see for what this data mining we can do. We turn in so much useful information to make really informed decisions where we go from now. And basically, I look at really, the socio-economic disadvantaged population really make up a large proportion in our school district. That's one thing we had to pay a lot of attention about it. Secondly, special education. If we incorporate you two into overall school district, that will bring down overall score. That's one thing I want to make clear. People understand about what the data meaning. Secondly, I really high encourage school members and also all staff. We had to deal with long-term and short-term, and we need to really feel a sense of urgency. At the same time, we had to be creative. The only thing got to be innovative, creative, and take a bold decision to result improving our student performance. I really high encourage, if possible, maybe spend 50 minutes to understanding how student learning habits. Because you look at your subgroup, some area you just look up, the other area you just look down. So try understanding what is strong correlation, your group, and we hopefully we're able to identify the underlying factor, and we can make any recommendation for it. Yeah, my suggestion for that.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Okay. Have any other new business?
We do. We have the pleasure of being honored by Ms. Peggy Nicolosi. She is here to observe and also present information of our QSAC report. She is the Executive County Superintendent of Camden County. So, welcome.
Good evening. If you don't mind, I'll continue to sit and be on the same level as you are. I'm going to pass out, and I think your superintendent has given you your scores and packets for each of the 5 groups for the QSAC. And QSAC is another term for monitoring. It's an acronym for Quality Single Accountability Continuum. That's how they come up with the letters QSAC. It takes care of 5 areas. Program and instruction as being the keystone of, or the key element of the 5. There's governance, which applies to your board, fiscal, personnel, and operations. Generally, if you look at your scores, I want to say that you did very well in fiscal. Program and instruction pretty much follows your test scores that you had the presentation for tonight. There are some deficiencies in curriculum. Now, you're going to say, well, what curriculum? We looked at science, math, language arts tonight, and the various areas. There are 9 areas that we looked at for curriculum, and it was K through 12. Unfortunately, in the segment that you had to go through, you had to be proficient in all 9 subject areas. And you could have had 8 and be missing 1, and you lost the points for it. Going forward, there is going to be a revision in the system in that you can get partial points, naturally the points for the areas that you have and you do okay in.